Hello there, it's Michael Robertson. It's a pleasure to be with you through a recording. And here's the story. So yesterday, Tuesday, April 12th, I had started this workshop with a group of about 23 wonderful faculty, and then my power and Wi-Fi went out. So in response, I am recording this workshop the next day to share with all of you. I will also be rescheduling a live version of this workshop at a later date for anyone who prefers an interactive workshop experience. So my apologies for the inconvenience, but I hope that even this recording is helpful to you. All right, so let's carry on, let's commence. We are going to talk today about the overview of accessibility tools for online teaching. Again, even if you're watching the recording, you can use this for Flex credit. Just complete the Flex verification form and make sure you submit that on time. But let's jump right in with a brief introduction of our goal for right now. So at Long Beach City College, we have 3 essential accessibility tools. Number 1 is Ally Accessibility Checker. Number 2, Canvas Accessibility Checker. And number 3, Pope Tech Accessibility Checker. Each one has ideal applications depending on what you're trying to do. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to identify and describe what each one is best suited for and do a demonstration of how you can utilize each of them within your online class. So let's get to it with a very brief introduction to accessibility online. This is taken from the California Community College Tech Center. You can check out their Accessibility Center as well. And essentially what we're getting at here is that as a publicly funded institution of higher education, it is our responsibility, it is our duty to ensure that our online offerings, everything from the campus website to our Canvas courses, are designed to be accessible for all of our students, students with or without disabilities. So really, that provides the foundation for why we are here, why we are institutionally working towards a more accessible design in terms of everything we do online. So what does this actually look like in an online class? Now, depending on the class, it can take a variety of forms, but here are just 3. On the far left, you see something called alt text, that's alternate text. And that is when you have an image or a picture in your class, and there is a brief written description of that image so that a student who is blind or low vision can hear that description if they are unable to view the actual image. So that's one form of accessibility. In the middle, you have a screenshot of just a document, but in that document, we have properly formatted headings within it. Again, that is something incredibly helpful for any student using a screen reader. That's a technology that reads what is on the screen for them. Again, imperative for a student who is blind or low vision. And when you have properly structured headings within your document or within your Canvas pages, it makes much more sense for those students. And then finally, on the far right, we have closed captions, that CC symbol, and that describes when you have audio visual content that you have an accurate transcript or closed captions along with that content. And that counts for our Zoom meetings as well, ensuring that during a live Zoom meeting, you enable the live transcript option for students who might need that. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about the tools that are going to help us ensure that our courses are accessible. Tool number one is called Ally Accessibility Checker. And you see some images on this slide that you probably already seen on Canvas. So I hope to demystify what these symbols and signs are all about, and also show you how you can make it part of your everyday practice when you are working in your Canvas courses. Here's what I'm going to do, and this is what I was going to do during the live workshop as well. I'm going to switch between windows because I also have Canvas open as well. I'm going to be doing some demonstrations from my own Canvas course. And every time I do this, I always preface it the same way. I always begin by saying, you do not have to do things the way that I do them. The way that I build my online courses, my teaching style, it may not work depending on your style or your subject, and that's okay. I do not prescribe one-size-fits-all solutions. I encourage you to find methods of online teaching that fulfill and excite you, and of course, work for your students as well. And that can very much depend on what you teach. So that caveat being stated from the get-go. But this is my course in linguistic anthropology. And I'd like to show you very briefly the first application of the Ally Accessibility Checker. It's called the course report. And on every Canvas shell, just like this one here, on the home page, there are a series of buttons on the right-hand side. There is one called Accessibility Report. Clicking on that will take you to the Ally Accessibility Report, which, think of it this way, it provides this holistic 10,000-foot view of how accessible is this class. It's actually quite informative to get you started asking questions of what can I do better in terms of accessible design in my course. So here it provides a holistic score, 99% in this class. And I always say it has not always been 99%. If you looked at this a year ago, it would have been in the 80s. A year before that, closer to the 60s percentile. So this is a result of a lot of time and a lot of intentional effort to make the course more accessible. But again, Ally provides a breakdown of what is or is not accessible in the class. And you can click on any of these items, be taken to the image or the document, whatever it may be, and Ally will even provide some recommendations for how you can fix it. Okay, so it's a very useful tool to get started on where you currently stand in terms of accessibility. And that brings us to this slide on the pros and cons, what's great about Ally, and in my opinion, what could be improved about Ally. The first pro is really that course report. It's great to see that. It's great to have that very quick look at it, understand where you currently are and how you can begin. It also detects things such as closed captions within the content. That's great. It will even look at your documents. So when you upload your syllabus or PowerPoint slides, or even an assignment prompt, what have you, Ally will scan that document and make a determination if it is fully accessible or partially accessible or not at all accessible. So that's very handy as well. Some of the disadvantages of Ally is that it does miss some accessibility issues. And we'll talk about why as we move through this workshop. I've also experienced some internet browsers. So you might be using Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, what have you. But some of those have experienced errors when using the Ally accessibility checker. So if you're running into any issues, I suggest trying Google Chrome. That one for me typically works very well. So let me show you a second application of Ally besides the course accessibility score that will help you. And that lies within an individual page. So I'm taking you to the modules within one of my classes. And just for context, my teaching style, my courses are one weekly module at a time. So every week there is a module, and students have a combination of pages, assignments, discussions, a quiz to complete throughout that module every single week. So that's, again, just a little context there. What I've done for this workshop today is you'll see 3 pages right here, 1, 2, 3, and Ally. I created these pages, they're identical. And so we're going to compare and contrast the 3 accessibility checkers on each of these pages to see their function. So we're going to begin with Ally, which is what we've been talking about so far. All right, so take a look. A little bit of anthropology fun for you all today. Ally looks at this page, and right away, when you have an image, such as this one, for example, you might notice a little symbol down here. Looks like a speedometer or a fuel gauge. And if you hover over it, a little text box appears. It says, accessibility score low, select to improve. And clicking on that symbol will bring up a description of what needs to be improved. And in this case, it says this image does not have a meaningful description. And that goes back to what we mentioned earlier in a previous slide about the alternate text or the alt text for this. Again, if a student is blind or low vision and they could not see these 5 skeletons, we have to think about how we could describe it concisely but completely so that they can understand the message. So here's the great thing about Ally is that within this alert window, we can just click and type in a new alt text description. So we could do something to that effect very briefly. 5 primate skeletons, gibbon, human, chimpanzee, gorilla, orangutan. Click on save. And then Ally should be telling me it's worth 100%. And this is a good demonstration. Sometimes Ally makes a goof. So look at one of the cons. Sometimes there are errors. This should have saved and toggled over to 100%. So something to keep in mind when using Ally for this purpose. I've had some success. I've had some errors exactly like what you see here. So I'm actually glad that this happened. So now you know, but that's okay. We'll fix it with our next tool. As we scroll down through the page, Ally isn't doing too much here. Again, we're looking for those either, if I go back, red, orange, light green or dark green symbols throughout. Again, I'm not seeing any more with these videos or this text, but oh, here we go. Here's an article, and the ally symbol is red. Again, I will click on that. Oh, and look at that. So here's what I did. This is an article I asked my students to read. And in order to make it more convenient, I just scanned it and then posted the PDF scan onto Canvas. Here's the problem. That document is completely inaccessible. A screen reader would not be able to make any sense of this article, of the text. And that's exactly what Ally is telling us, 0% accessible because the PDF is scanned. And of course, you click on what does this mean and get some more information or how to fix it. Can you get the original document? So click these buttons, get a little more guidance if you ever have questions on how to do this. But what I'm going to show you now is one of my favorite applications of Ally. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to exit out here. Scroll back up to the top of this page. Because look, right here, after the page title, there is a small and easy to miss icon. That is from Ally, and that is the alternative format button. Click on that. And Ally takes a look at the entire page and identifies the components of that page that can be made accessible. So look. The files found in this item, here's the article right here that was inaccessible. Clicking on that says we can download alternative formats. And there's quite a few options here. The first one I'm going to show you is the OCR PDF. OCR stands for optical character recognition. What that means is that the computer will read the document and then retype it for us to the best of its ability. So I'm going to select that option and then click download. And again, depending on your computer, might save to your desktop and so on. But look what happened. So this is a new version of that same article that is OCR'd. Again, that character recognition. And I checked this earlier. If I were to upload this to Canvas for my students to read, it would come back with a 94% rating, which that's pretty good. Now, the thing about OCR, always give it a read and check for mistakes, because sometimes OCRs get things wrong. They're not human eyes on these things. It's always good to take a second look at them. So let me give you an alternative that I guarantee you will be 100% accessible. I'm going to go back to my demo page. I'm going to click on this button again. Click on the article again. Now this time, instead of OCR PDF, I will click on HTML. And don't worry, you don't need to get into coding or anything like that for this, but watch what happens. When I click on download, great, it downloaded again. I'm opening it up. Now look at this. The article, which you may have noticed occurred in 3 columns down the page, has now been read by the computer and retyped in a more computer screen friendly format. So here's what I do with a lot of my article-based reading assignments for my students. I get the HTML version just like this, and I just do a nice select all, copy, right? Because here's what I'm going to do. In Canvas, I'm opening a new page. This is empty, it just says reading assignment. I will click on the edit button. And then I will click in my text box, paste that entire article right there. And again, you want to look at this, you want to make sure that there are no spelling errors. Sometimes the spacing between paragraphs gets a little bit off. So we just hit the backspace button and ensure that everything looks the way we need it to, right? But when you follow this process and you keep the reading within Canvas, as opposed to something a student needs to download, then it is much easier for us as instructors to control the accessibility of the reading assignments. So again, this is my go-to solution here. Again, working with this page, ensuring that it looks the way I need it to, and then clicking save. And that will be the student's reading assignment. And they don't need to download anything. If they're using the Canvas app, this actually works fairly well for them through the app, as opposed to some PDF downloads might be a little tricky if a student might be reading on their phone or tablet device. So again, something really handy, this symbol right here, that alternate formatting option. If you provide articles, PDFs, something like that, put them through that and see how high you can get that accessibility score. All right. So excellent. Yeah, and that's the final pro, by the way, on this slide. Allows us to download files in alternative formats. So really, really helpful tool. Let's move on to tool number 2, Canvas Accessibility Checker in the Rich Content Editor, also known as RCE. There are a couple of images on this slide which may look familiar to you. And again, I put the images on the slide so that when you see them on Canvas, you know what they're for. The Canvas Accessibility Checker is a very handy tool. When we are creating a page within Canvas, it pops up and will tell us, hey, by the way, you have an accessibility issue here. Let's look at it. It also provides a lot of single-click fixes to address many of the issues, such as headers, such as tables, which I'll demonstrate in a moment. And then you can fix the alt text right within a Canvas page, which is what we tried to do a few minutes ago with Ally. And remember, it didn't work that first time. So, but some cons, some disadvantages. It misses things as well, right? And it does not evaluate files or documents. So that's where, in my mind, Ally, one-ups the Canvas checker. Canvas checkers cannot do that OCR of an article, as we showed just a minute ago. So let's do this. We will jump into Canvas again, and closing my extra tabs here, I have another page labeled Canvas Checker Demo. Again, this is the same exact page we were just working on. Here we go. Again, that same image, inaccessible. Ally couldn't help us very much. So here's what we do. We click on the Edit button. And this opens the Rich Content Editor. That's the RCE. And whether this is a page that you've already created or whether it's something that you are writing from scratch, you will notice that there is down below this little person in a circle, and there may or may not be a number next to it. That number is telling me, hey, you have 4 accessibility issues within this page, right? So that is incredibly helpful because it's a visual reminder you have something to fix. So let's go ahead and click on this button. Okay, great. So on the right-hand side, a little section appears, and this is issue 1 of 4. And it's telling me image file names should not be used as the alt text describing the image contents. And remember, this is what we tried to fix in Ally, and it didn't work. So let's do it this way, which will work. We can change the alternate text to 5 primate skeletons, gibbon, human, chimpanzee, gorilla, orangutan. Click apply. Okay, and that's done, right? So when you click apply, we know the alt text has changed. So that's great. The next thing it's telling us is that we have some color contrast issues. In fact, let me close this for a moment so you could see it better. I wanted to emphasize primates, right? That word. So I made it bold and I highlighted it. It looked okay to me, but looking at it now, oof, it's really dark, right? That's hard to read. And Canvas is telling me in the checker, hey, this does not have accessible color contrast. And you'll see this very colorful, rectangle appear with slider where you can change the color of the text so that it is more accessible. There's a little circle here, I'm making it larger, where you can just click it and drag it. And here's the trick. See this apply button? I can't click it yet, but when I drag it to a lighter section, it becomes clickable. And that tells me, okay, that's meeting the accessibility standard. Again, it's highlighted one color. This is changing the text color. So if I take it way up here and click apply, let me leave this. Okay, so now it is a lighter text with a darker highlight. So that provides acceptable color contrast. That would be seen as accessible. So just clarifying what that means. Getting back into the checker. Tables. Yeah, so if you have tables in a Canvas page, this is pretty much a required step for every single one of them. So 2 things. It's asking you to provide a caption of what is within the table. That's like a title, right? That's summarizing what's going on. So primates and locomotion. Done. And the second step of making a table accessible is that it should have a header. Here's the reason why, because when a screen reader looks at a table, it will identify the header row as applying to all the rows beneath it, or the header column as applying to all the columns to the right of it. So I'm going to select header row and see what that did. It took the term species and primary locomotion and made them centered. And I'll click apply. Oh, and look at that. It's my balloons and confetti because I did a good job with that. And you'll see on the table that species, primary locomotion are centered because that is the header. And then we also have the title of what is happening within that table. And now if I look at the little person in the circle, there are no accessibility issues. Again, click on it once again. Yay, balloons and confetti. That means we did a great job. So, as always, I'm going to click the Save button to save our wonderful work. So this page, according to the Canvas checker, has been made more accessible. Very well done. But here's the kicker. Our third and final accessibility checker tool, which is relatively new at Long Beach City College, is called Pope Tech. And Pope Tech provides a more enhanced scan of an individual page within Canvas. It catches issues that the previous two tools have missed. So to me, the Pope Tech tool, it goes a lot deeper, and it alerts us to things that the Canvas checker we just saw would overlook. So it's very, very useful in that way. If you had to choose just one or the other, I would urge you to try Pope Tech because it will catch more of those issues for revision. It provides guidance and single-click fixes for those issues. It has enhanced resources. It even has an Ask for Help button within it. Now, some of the cons here, it does not look at uploaded documents. Again, that is an Ally specialty. It does not look at your documents or your syllabi or your PowerPoints. Use Ally for those. It also does not detect accurate closed captions in video content. It will tell you that you need to check, but it will not check them for you. So let's dive in one more time, see what Pope Tech can do for us. I'm clicking on this last page. Again, all about non-human primates. Here we go, same exact thing. All right. And again, I'm going to click on the Edit button. All right, so as soon as it loads, here we go. Okay, so again, this is just a copy of the page we already worked on. See this? The Canvas checker is telling us that we have those 4 things to fix: the alt text, the color contrast, and the table title and the table header. Okay, so remember that Canvas is saying there's 4 accessibility issues, but let's scroll down. This symbol, I'm gonna make it way too big, with the letter P, stands for Pope Tech. That is the button we need to click to open it up. And again, this pops up on the right-hand side, and take a look at this. Wow, it says 1 error, but 9 alerts. So 10 things total. Pope Tech is saying, you need to look at these. You need to figure this out real quick. So here's what it does. A couple things here. So we can click the question mark here. And look at that. You can ask for help. Put in your email, put in your message. Say, for the life of me, I can't figure out how to make this accessible. Please help. And that email will be sent to me and also the entire OLET team, the Online Learning and Educational Technology team, so we can follow up with you regarding that accessibility concern. So that's right there. That is so neat to ask for help within a specific Canvas page. But each of these items has a drop-down menu. Clicking on this brings down some items we need to look at. The first of which is suspicious alternative text. So click on that. And again, it shows the image and the alternative text: ape skeletons, .png. Okay, yep. So we can fix that here as well. 5 skeletons. This is the third time I've done this, huh? And I'm, just to save time, going to leave it at that for now, but click apply. Okay, great. And look, now I'm down to 8 alerts. Wonderful. Then Ally tells us about some suspicious link text. Suspicious link. See, look, and I see this all the time, which is why I intentionally put it on this demo page. I like to provide a lot of extra resources to my students. For example, here I say, want to learn more about primates? Click here. I see it all the time, but that link is not accessible. Here's the general rule. A hyperlink should be descriptive of the destination. Here, or http://www.whatever.com, that is not necessarily descriptive of where the student is being taken to. So instead of having a text, or excuse me, instead of having a hyperlink as click here or click link, we can change it right now. So the link text rather can read primate summary. Click apply. And I'm just scrolling up to show you. It changed automatically within the page. So Pope Tech, I mix them up in my head sometimes, to be honest with you, letting me know another one, right? So click here, here is not accessible. I'm going to make sure to rename that to primate communication page. Boom, click apply, and there it is. Nice. Now we're down to only 6 alerts. Excellent. Let's see. Now we're going to click on, make that one go away, go to text and contrast. Okay, click on contrast. All right, so look, see, so this is the highlighted word that I demonstrated earlier. This one in Pope Tech gives me a bit more detail, right? So it tells me about the foreground and the background. So the text color is black, and the highlight color is this really, really dark blue. All I need to do is I can either change the color of the text or the color of the highlight. You know you are done when both of these say pass in green. See, when it's too dark, it says they both fail. But when you slide it a little lighter, it says pass and pass. Click apply, and look at that. It's still highlighted the way I want it, but it is an accessible color contrast. That's so handy. Let's go down. Oh, so that error is gone. Wonderful. Let's get to the headings. So Ally's telling me that there is no heading structure on this page. That's important to know. The page has no headers, suggests to provide a clear, consistent heading structure, right? So Canvas has the page title as header 1, but we can add more, and we should add more because this is helpful for organization and screen readers. Here's what we do. So look, in the page, I made a nice big bold title or heading for this, but you'll notice right here, see if I select it, it's still the paragraph heading level. When in reality, it should take the form of heading 2. Okay, because again, the title is heading level 1, then this should be heading level 2, and I can scroll down the page. Oh, see, here's another heading, but it's just a paragraph. So I'm going to make this one heading 3, Oh, and here's another one. Let's do this one heading 3 as well. And then that's it for my subheadings. So now if I go back to Pope Tech, I'm actually going to hit the rescan button to see how it went through. Oh, cool, great. So now I'm down to 5 alerts. The heading outline, it even shows my headings. Heading 2, right there. Heading 3, over here. Heading 3, over here. Nice, very helpful. Tables and lists. So we have an alert here that says review table to verify if it is a layout table. If it's a data table, add header row and column as appropriate. So here's what that means. If you use a table to organize, for instance, your Canvas buttons on a home page, right? That is considered a layout table. Okay, so there's just some buttons, or maybe like your picture next to your biography. That's a layout table. In that case, you really wouldn't need to do anything as far as header rows or caption, but it would still continue to be flagged as inaccessible. Now, this table, of course, as we showed previously, we can set up a caption, we can set up a header. So I'm just going to check the box, set the first row as header, and table caption, primate, locomotion. Click apply. And again, it looks just like it did when with the Canvas checker performed that same function. It centered the header row and it added the table caption there. And look, now we're down to 4 alerts. We're making our way through. Okay, now this is great. Documents and videos. Click on it. And a couple things here. So link to PDF document. All right, so look at this. Remember, and sorry, it's being obstructed by the actual Pope Tech window, which happens. Sometimes you can't see what you're working on until this window is closed. But this is telling us that the PDF reading that Ally fixed earlier is not accessible. And actually, it's not even telling me that. It's telling me to check if it is accessible. So that is a limitation of Pope Tech. It tells me, look, you have a PDF here, check it out, make sure it is accessible to your students. And that's pretty much the end of it. One thing that is nice about this is that it offers me the ability to change the title. Because you see right here, it's like body ritual %20 PDF. That's not very nice. I try to label readings in the following manner: article, body, ritual, PDF, so that students know what they're about to download. Click apply, and that changes the name. And then finally, there's some YouTube videos on this page. These are not my videos. These are videos that I found just online on YouTube that suit the topic very, very well. Ally is telling me, please check to make sure they have equivalent synchronized captions. And I just click these 1, 2, 3, and Ally will select each one of them. So again, that's where it becomes, I'm closing out Pope Tech, that's where it becomes our duty to take a look at the video, like press the play button, click the closed caption button. All right, and look, oh, it went away. Look, this says English auto-generated. That is not accessible. Auto-generated captions are really cool, but they are not accurate. They do not have capitalization. They do not have punctuation. There are many spelling mistakes. Imagine trying to read a page of text without any periods, commas, or capital letters. That's what it's like having closed captions that are automatically generated. So it's very, very hard to understand. So I would need to find an alternative or replacement of this video. I would not want to feature it in my class. The other videos, by contrast, here's one with Coco the gorilla. Let's see. Here we go. I click on closed captions. I see that. So that's English, right? Keeps going away. But that shows me that it has the option for accurate closed captions. And of course, I always check. And these have punctuation, capitals, so on and so forth. So when you are curating content, when you are finding video content for your courses, again, checking this one too, I strongly urge you to ensure that they do not solely rely on the automatic closed captions. Make sure they have the English captions as well. And hey, you know what? For an extra credit tip, check it out. Let's say I want to replace this howler monkey video, which we found has the automatic captions. They're not accessible. I'll show you a trick right now. I just went to YouTube and I'm going to search for howler monkey, right? Loudest land animal in the world, by the way. Little anthro knowledge for you. But here's the trick. I'll click on filters. Look at that. Subtitles CC. When I click on this, only videos with the accessible captions will appear in my search results. So then I can very easily pull one of these videos. This one looks great. Of course, I'll check it out, see if it meets my instructional needs, but then share this one. Oops, I don't want game. And then I'll share this one with my students and just go ahead and delete that inaccessible version of it. So there you go. Again, I click on Pope Tech. I still have a few alerts. Those are just the videos and the document that it's telling me, hey, check on it, but I have 0 errors. So that's exactly what we want to see within this tool. All right. So that was a lot. And here's a couple things I wish to leave you with. We don't have to just choose one. I hope that this demonstration showed you that each of these checkers has its place in the design of our online classes. And if you're posting a lot of articles in PDF format, Ally might be the first thing you go to. And if you like the visual reminders of the Canvas checker that pops up that little number on how you're doing, check that one as well. And then Pope Tech, in my mind, is the most enhanced version within a page, but they augment and they complement one another. So again, that's why I encourage you to be comfortable using all 3 of them in the context of your class. Now, you are not alone in this effort. We have additional self-paced trainings for you to continue building your skill sets. Some notable ones here on screen, and you can actually click on these when you have a slideshow and just enroll right away if you'd like to. But these trainings will teach you many of the skills that we talked about in this workshop, so that when you do the Pope Tech check on your page, it will find very few, if any, errors at all. If you already have the skills to build your course in accessible in accessibly designed ways, excuse me. So with that being said, that brings us to the end. I know this wasn't live, so I can't take questions right now, but I am going to schedule a live version of it, or at the very least, a version where we can take some questions. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for prioritizing accessibility in your online class, and feel free to reach out to me or the entire online learning team with any questions or concerns. Thank you so very much. Take care now.